This problem is asking us to figure out what is the measure of the angle drawn. Now you can notice here around the outside of the circle that that portion of it's just a little bit heavier weighted when it's drawn in. Really, what we're seeing here is this angle that we're taking a look at. Now, I know that you're not going to be able to look at that and tell exactly where that is. This is really a problem that deals with estimation. It's a matter of looking at it and saying, I think it is about this. And so let's go ahead and take a look at it from that perspective. So first up, we want to know the measure of the angle in degrees. If I'm looking at the degree angle measure, remember I want to measure then from 0 degrees, which is over here, and I'm always measuring counterclockwise from there. And so this is that measure of our angle if I'm going to go degrees. I'm trying to figure out how open is it. Now you notice that it's past 90 degrees because 90 degrees is straight up here, but it's not yet to 180 degrees because 180 degrees is definitely too far. In fact, it looks like it's about halfway between 90 and 180. And again, because this is an estimation problem, you could come up with all sorts of different numbers there. You could come up with, say, you might come up with 130 degrees here or 140 degrees because they're basically kind of around halfway between 90 and 180, something in that range. Or if you want to be exactly halfway between 90 and 180, you might say 135 degrees. All those would be very good estimates about where that would be. Now for estimating it in radians, the radian measure is this distance around the outside. And this is going to be a little bit trickier if we just do it in those same kind of way of thinking that we did about our degrees. So a way that I want to help you to think about this problem is, first of all, I know that 0 is still going to be 0. 0 degrees equals 0 radians. But then I want to figure out what this angle is over here. Well, it's half of the unit circle. The whole unit circle is 2 pi, so this part is pi. So one of the first angles in radians that you should know and memorize is where pi is, because pi as an angle represents exactly half of the circle. So if I know that that's where pi is, well, what fraction out of the pi does it seem like our angle is actually looking at here? Well, this would be half of pi to here, and this looks like it's about halfway past that. So I'd say it looks like it's about 3/4 of pi. Well, notice if I want to write that all as one fraction, I can actually just write that then as 3 pi over 4. And that would actually be a very good estimate of this angle in radians. And so what you can see here is a way of relating the radian measures to what we're seeing on the circle is that because we ended up with 3 pi over 4, we're saying it's less than pi. So we know it's less than pi here. 3/4 is also more than half of pi. And so we know that it's more than that angle, which actually we would end up writing as pi over 2. And so, we would then have 3/4 of pi, or in other words, 3 pi over 4 there. And it hopefully starts making a little bit of sense. It takes a little bit of time to get comfortable with this, but I want to kind of reinforce this from as many different angles as I can to help you get comfortable with that idea.